Good evening. We welcome all of you for this webinar, and we have with us the eminent speaker, CA Sunita Rathorji, and moderator CA Priyanshu Agrawalji. The moderator, sir, will be introducing to you with the chairman, vice chairman, sir, and the speaker. Over to moderator, sir.
Evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us today for session of the Run 100 webinar series, an initiative by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Board of Studies Operations to celebrate excellence, ignite insight, and empower the next generation of finance professionals. I would like to introduce Chairman of Board of Studies Operations, CA, Dr. Rohit Ruhatia. CA Rohit Ruhatia is an iconic Central Council member of ICAI and currently serving as Chairman of the Board of Studies Operations. Renowned for his visionary leadership, he holds the distinction of being one of the youngest ever Managing Committee member, Regional Council member, as well as Central Council member in ICAI's history. He has contributed for major initiatives for inclusion of ICAI's name in Guinness World Record for the largest career counseling session, led impactful programs like Practice Ki Pathshala and the residential training for new COP holders. As chairman, he continues to shape policy and method of practice for CA profession and the aspiring students respectively. Dedicated to student empowerment, he is committed to modernizing CA education through digital platform, innovative learning methods, and industry-related training, making him a key force in redefining the future of the CA profession. I would also like to introduce our Vice Chairman, who is present here, CA Sanjeev Sanghvi. CA Sanjeev Sanghvi, a seasoned chartered accountant with over 26 years of experience, currently serving as the Vice Chairman of Board of Studies Operations, ICAI. As a Central Council member, he is widely respected for his leadership in digital transformation, capacity building, and professional development. As a capable chartered accountant, he led impactful initiatives like UDAN and the Voice of Diamonds. He has actively contributed to various ICAI committees and held key positions in professional and social organizations. Known for his visionary approach, he is committed to empowering young professionals, enhancing auditors' ethics, and strengthening ICAI's global presence through innovation and inclusive growth. I would like to hand over mic to now our Vice Chairman, CA Sanjeev Sanghvi. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Priyanshu, for coordinating the whole session, and to the Board of Studies Operations, to Sunita ma'am for giving her consent to be the speaker for today's webinar. This webinar, Run 100, was thought with a very noble idea. This Run 100 is 100 webinar series on basically the mindset, which is the topic for today. Now, when we talked about Run 100, it is basically if we are looking forward to have our country be the largest economy of the world, and we as chartered accountants and CA student, which is the largest accounting body in the world, to play a very, very vital role in this entire thing, we always understand a very elementary formula, that is speed is equals to distance divided by time. Now, if you have a long distance to cover and we have very less time, we need to increase our speed. And when we increase our speed, we need to start running. So when I talk about running, this entire thought of when we created this concept, when I came up with this idea of Run 100. So running is not about running a marathon. It's about how we can reskill, which is R, upskill, which is U, and acquire new skills. That was the whole objective behind this run. And I'm very happy with the entire Board of Studies Operations Office of diligently conducting this webinar and giving huge value to all the students across the country which is going over there. Now, to all the students who are listening to this webinar on this growth mindset, I just want to share my thoughts into this. Before that, I just want to let you know that Board of Studies Operation has launched a very important course which is called Aura, which is artificial intelligence for rising achievers, wherein already more than 400 plus students have already completed their AI course. It's a 2 days course conducted by a branch, and it is being charged in the range of 400 to 500 rupees for 2 days, which includes lunch. The entire cost is being taken by Board of Studies Operations, and in these 2 days you are learning so many important tools, important templates, and by learning that you can go back to your office and you can do your work more efficiently. So please reach to your branch and please register for this, because we will be taking up 25,000 students to be AI enabled and AI ready by December 2025. Now, when we talk about growth mindset, remember a four-letter word which is very, very relevant and important for you. Be a gate for the organization. Now, when I say gate, it is basically the only midway between you and the organization. वो दरवाजा जिसे हमें कहते हैं ना, वो होता है गेट. Now, if we understand it more better, G stands for growth mindset of how you can help the organization grow, how you can work as a differentiator, how you can make sure that you make your presence felt. So, a mindset of doing things without anyone telling you to do. A mindset wherein you are just going back and say, yes, I can get this done. Be a problem solver for that organization. That is the G, which is very important. The E part of thing is about agility. In this current world, where we don't know whatever we are learning today will be relevant in next 3 to 5 years. You need to be agile towards all the new developments. Have that flexibility and agility to adapt to any new challenges, any new things happening. Well, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to learn on computers. I'm not used to work on a PDF file. I'm not used to work on multiple connected systems on cloud. All these barriers needs to be killed. If you really want to be the gate for the organization, be agile. The third important thing is the T part, which is technology. Again, when I was talking about technology, there's a very important word which is called ABCD of technology. So all the students who are thinking that once becoming a chartered accountant, they'll make a great career, they need to blend technology with this. And when we talk about technology, it's about artificial intelligence, blockchain, cyber security, and data analytics. Again, all these things will be blended with your domain knowledge to make a complete bouquet of services you are going to offer to the organization. So the T part is all about technology. And the last but not the least, before I end my opening remarks, and then I request Sunita, ma'am, to deliberate more on this, is the E part, which is entrepreneurship, engagement. Now, when we talk about entrepreneurship, it's a very, very good thought. It's not just ki when I talk about entrepreneurship, that means that I have to go back and do the practice, or I have to set up my own business. Even while doing job also, even while doing articleship also, you need to have that entrepreneurial mindset of going back and work as if it is your organization, work as if it is your client. When you're working on a balance sheet, when you're working on an accounts, you need to know that what is that which this client can do to help him grow his business, to help that person identify the leakages for them, do a system audit for them, do so many things, which is वो बोलते हैं ना कि जब लोग देखे बोले भाई तेरी रजा क्या है, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा खुद बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. सो दैट इज ऑल अबाउट ग्रोथ माइंडसेट कि आप जब आगे बढ़ो तो यू क्रिएट दैट ऑरा, यू क्रिएट दैट इंस्पिरेशन, यू क्रिएट दैट एंगेजमेंट. जब आप ये करना शुरू करोगे and you enjoy that journey, you will be successful every day, every minute, every second. And that's the journey which requires lot of brain, a lot of re-engineering within you, a lot of transformation within you, and a very determined and focused mindset. So I think this is a great topic for today's session. And my dear students, you will be very happy to know more about it. अगर आपने स्पीकर का एक वर्ड भी अडॉप्ट कर लिया और उसको प्रैक्टिस किया, I think that will change your life. With that, thank you once again, Sunita, for being a part of this session. Thanks, Priyanshu, and thanks the Board of Studies Operations for putting up these sessions together. And let's take these sessions forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir, for joining us today. Now, today's session is an exciting one and a truly essential skill in the modern financial world. Topic for today is developing a growth mindset for continuous learning. To lead us into the artful territory, we are privileged to have with us our distinguished speaker, C.A. Sunita Rathod. I would like to introduce our respected speaker, C.A. Sunita Rathod. She is fellow chartered accountant with over 17 years of experience in accounting, finance, and professional practice. She is now dedicated to sustainability and ESG advisory, supporting organizations in BRSR reporting, ESG compliance, carbon credits, LEED certification, and global sustainability frameworks. Certified in sustainability and BRSR reporting, ICAI, and GRI standards, KPMG. She also guides companies on ratings and certifications such as EcoVadis and ISO. Beyond ESG, Sunita is a certified NLP practitioner and MEPSC and IATD master trainer, specializing in corporate and soft skills training. Her mindset is to enable business and professionals to grow, perform, and create meaningful impact. Let us give a very warm welcome to our respected speaker, C. Sunita Rathod.
Thank you, Priyanshuji. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sunita Rathod. I'd like to begin by thanking the Board of Studies, Chairman CA Rohit Bhatia, Vice Chairman CA Sanjeev Sanghvi, and the BOS team for giving me this opportunity to speak on a topic that is so very relevant in today's time: developing a growth mindset for continuous learning. Is my screen visible?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So this topic is important not only for students or for professionals, but almost anyone who is has a desire or goal or wants to achieve something meaningful in life. What we are going to discuss are the basics of what a growth mindset is, why does it matter, and the benefits that each one of us can have from maintaining a growth mindset, and what are the strategies, how we should be cultivating that growth mindset into our everyday life. Before I carry on this discussion further, I'd like each one of you to think of when you face a really tough challenge in your studies or in your personal life, or when you are dealing with anything in your professional sector. What is the first thought that usually comes across in your mind? The options: first, this is too hard, I probably fail. Second, this is frustrating, but I can figure it out. A third, I love a good challenge. So think that through, pick up your choice, and think, when you're choosing any of these options, What helps you? How do you decide? All your dreams are derived because of your mindset. Now, what you'd say is a mindset? Let's find out. So if we go by the dictionary meaning, mindset is an established set of attitudes held by someone. Or in simple terms, mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world around you or of yourself. How you think, how you feel, and behave in any given situation. Mindset shapes how you see and face the challenges, how you deal with the failures and setbacks that come across your way, how you define success for yourself, and the chances that you take to reach that goal or that success pedestal that you have set for yourself. Carol Dweck, a psychologist from Stanford University, says that your beliefs play a very pivotal role in deciding what you want for yourself and whether you will be able to achieve it. And what you believe about yourself impacts your definition of success and the measures that you take to deal with the setbacks that you have. So the crux is the belief and the way you think and feel have to be on the right trajectory. To sum it up, mindset can be defined as your attitude, your beliefs of how you approach a specific situation. It impacts on your definition of success for yourself and the measures and the commitment that you put in to meet that success. And it also shapes how much of a learning that you will take from any setback or any challenges that you face in the process of reaching your goal. Before I go further into it, I'd like to share a little clip with you. Let me know if you can hear it all right.
Look, we gotta ride together. If you don't sit on the back and hold on to the front, the whole thing falls apart.
Is it audible?
Oh, and who's holding the ramp?
The turtle. Come on, it's faster than he looks.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
You coming?
Nope, I can't do it. Never in a million years.
Hey. I know your problem. You got a Bruno in your head.
A Bruno.
Yeah, I get one too sometimes. Alberto, you can't. Alberto, you're gonna die. Alberto, don't put that in your mouth. Luca, it's simple. Don't listen to stupid Bruno.
Why is his name Bruno?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. Call him whatever you want. Shut him up. Say, Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno. Louder.
Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Silenzio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno.
Can you still hear him?
Nope, just you.
Good. Now hang on. Andiamo!
Silencio Bruno. Silencio Bruno. Silencio Bruno. Silencio Bruno.
So when we are talking of mindset, there are two basic types of mindsets. The fixed mindset, where People with fixed mindset believe that the intelligence and the talent are innate qualities and fixed traits that a person would have. A person with fixed mindset believes that talent and intelligence alone lead to you achieving your success, and hard work and effort is not required. They also fear to take up challenges. They fear failure. And they give up easily when they are met with setbacks. A person with a fixed mindset has a desire to look smart and wants to hold on to his label of intelligence or the tag of smart, and does not put in or embrace challenges. He or she gives up easily and sees effort as a fruitless or futile activity. Such people are also not conducive to taking feedback in the sense that it is meant to be. In the clip that we just saw, if Luca had just given up to his sense of fear and reluctance, he would have missed out on the opportunity of experiencing the exhilaration of flying that scooter across in the clouds and flying with the birds. So he went against the fixed limits. He took up the challenge and he went ahead and experienced. This is what a growth mindset does to a person, does for the person. People with growth mindset believe that abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, and learning. They have a desire to learn, and therefore they have a tendency to embrace the challenges that are put forth in front of them. They persist in the face of setbacks. They see effort as part of attaining the mastery that they require. And they learn from the feedback or the criticism that comes their way. People with a growth mindset are also open to learning from the success of others. They don't necessarily believe that you can become an Einstein or a Mozart, but they also believe that anyone can get smarter and hone on more skills and get more talented if they put in the effort with the right strategies and with the right amount of it. People with growth mindset in the process of learning have curiosity. They're curious to find out and learn more. They never shy away from putting in the efforts. They are persistent in the face of setbacks or failures, and they never give up. And they are constantly trying to grow and be better people than they were previously, based on the learnings from the feedback that we have received. We've seen, you must have come across many such people in your circle, immediate circle. We know of people, famous people who have this growth mindset, who teach us lessons. If I were to just talk about a few, Thomas Edison, when he was inventing the bulb, he did not get the right product at the first go. It took him 10,000 attempts. And he did not say that I failed 10,000 times. He said, I found 10,000 ways that didn't work for my invention. Now, that is a growth mindset. How you're perceiving the setbacks that come across your way, either as a point of learning or as a negative marker for yourself. Another example, MS Dhoni. From being a ticket collector in the railways, he took India as a winning captain to win. He came from a small town. He had limited exposure, no professional coaching, and minimal of facilities. Yet, instead of blaming his circumstances or being defeated by his circumstances, he kept improving and improvising until he became the captain and won India the World Cup and the T20 series. Another example, Arunima Sinha, the first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. She was a volleyball player, but she lost her legs in a tragic accident when she was pushed off the train by some robbers. Everyone thought that her career was over, yet she did not work down. She learned the technical climbing skills, trained rigorously, kept that positive attitude and that mindset to achieve what she had set her mind for. And finally, in 2013, she became the world's first female amputee to scale Mount Everest. If we talk about Narayan Murthy, who built Infosys from just 10,000 rupees in 1981, when it was a time where India's IT industry barely existed. There was no infrastructure, the funding was scarce, and yet, because of his mindset, his attitude, his belief, he was able to bring Infosys to the level that it is. If we talk about things closer home, with what students might be doing. Now, how would you identify a growth mindset for a student? Let's take an example. A student who's scoring, two students who are scoring low marks in a test, where one of them is just saying that I am bad at this subject. I'll never get this one. So he's going to feel demotivated. He's going to avoid practicing that subject, and he's going to dread that topic or subject when it comes, and eventually not get better at handling that topic or subject. Alternatively, another student who is going with the same set of marks, but he has a different approach, different mindset. What would he say? Okay, let me just figure it out. Where have I gone wrong? What is making me not get the good marks? And he may ask feedback from his teacher. He may look to how we can change the way he is tackling the topic. He may be part of a study group and start improving himself on the topic. So the same kind of setback, two different approaches, two different mindsets, two different beliefs, and completely different outcomes. So this is how your mindset, a growth mindset, helps you tackle stuff and you see the change. Another example of how we can understand growth mindset vis-a-vis fixed mindset. Supposedly you're trying to learn a new skill, say play a guitar, and after a few weeks you find that you are not even able to catch on to the basic chords and you're not comfortable with it. A person with a fixed mindset would think that, okay, I am not a music person. I don't have the sense. I don't have that gene. And this is not something that I want to take up for myself. Either he might discontinue, or even if he continues, he'll not give it his best. So the kind of effort and practice that he puts in would be not up to the par. What is the result that's going to happen? He will not gain the skill. He might not play the guitar, eventually leave it altogether. Alternative, a person with a growth mindset would actually tackle the situation in a different way. He would want to find as to what is the trick to handle the chords. He might investigate onto other videos, other courses that would help him. He would put in more effort, extra effort, reach out to his friends who are good at playing the guitar, and eventually try to learn the skill, the technique that would help him master the chords. So the obstacle, when it is interpreted as a wall that is not scalable, becomes a fixed mindset. A person with a growth mindset sees that obstacle just as a temporary hurdle and tries to figure out as to what other ways he could use to know or reach his goal or take up that skill. So that is the differentiator between how you identify whether you are tackling a situation from a fixed mindset, the box approach, or from a growth mindset. That is what taking any hurdle, any setback as a challenge, as part of the process, and learning, trying to gather new ways of reaching your. That goal could be a task that is up in front of you, a learning, a skill that needs to be mastered, anything. So if we take this further, what is the internal self-talk that goes with a fixed mindset person and a growth mindset person? When a fixed mindset person would come with a challenge, he'd say that either I'm not good at it or I'm good at it. So there's no other way. Like we talked about the guitar skills. So I don't have the music role in me, so I cannot do. While a growth mindset person will say that I can learn to do anything I want. It is up to me. With the right effort, with the right strategy, I can learn anything in it. A fixed mindset person would say that that's just who I am. I can't change it. For example, if you are someone who's short-tempered, who has little patience, you'll just say that deal with it. I am a short-tempered person. So that is how I am. Now, if you are having a growth mindset, you would say, acknowledge the fact that change can be made. You are constantly evolving and you are a work in progress. So you can work on anything and everything with the right approach and get positive results. If you are a fixed mindset person, you'd say that if you have to work hard, you don't have the ability. That means that nothing hard work is compared to you not being competent and having the ability. A growth mindset person, on the other hand, would say the more challenging situation that you put yourself in, the smarter you are. That is, with effort and with challenges, you are able to hone your skills further and become smarter and gain that ability, gain that skill. Be proficient at it. For a fixed mindset person, might say that if I don't try, I won't fail, signifying failure as something, as a negative, that you should never fail. Alternatively, a person with a growth mindset knows that failure is just part of the process. And you only fail if you stop trying, if you stop making the effort, putting the effort. That is the only definition of failure, when you stop trying. A fixed mindset person would say that a job position is totally out of my league. I don't have the skills. I don't have the ability to apply for the position. It is not for me. On the other hand, the growth mindset person would say that this job looks challenging and let me just give it a go, try, and see how can I work it. So the key difference is a fixed mindset person avoids taking challenges. On the other hand, a growth mindset person embraces the challenges. A fixed mindset person believes in limits to his or her potential, her intelligence, abilities. They have a lot of limiting beliefs and they are burdened by them, bogged by those, held back by those limiting beliefs. While a growth mindset person is always thinking on the positive part, the positive aspects of improving, getting better, one step at a time, day by day. A fixed mindset person would be fearful of making mistakes, of failing, and hence is stagnant. Whereas a growth mindset person values the effort that makes the scale of progress move more positively towards your goal. So we talked about positive thinking. So a person with a growth mindset doesn't blindly believe that you can do anything. He is pragmatic enough to understand that you can learn any skill, reach any point with the right strategies and the right. That is the positive approach to it. That you put in the right effort, you put in the right, use the right strategies, and then that is going to make you get what you're aiming for. It's that understanding that every expert was once a beginner. So you have to start at the first step and then work on yourself, try different ways, challenge yourself in different scenarios, and get to the next level and the next and the next. And then you'll be able to achieve the mastery in whatever thing that you're trying to do. It could be a subject, it could be the line of your profession, it could be anything, a skill that you are upskilling on, anything and everything. That it is a process that needs to be followed with the right approach and the right strategy and the right amount of effort. So that defines the positivity for a growth mindset person. So how would this positivity work out in case a person is facing challenges? So how would that growth mindset, that positive thinking work in this scenario? Any challenge would be considered as a chance to grow than to stick to what I know. Like Vice President Sangvi just mentioned regarding the IT changes, the AI, the technology that is there. One approach would be that no, I am happy with the way things are working for me, and I'm not going to try new things. I'm not going to work on more automation, see how AI can help me. So if you are going with this approach, you are going with the fixed mindset. But if alternatively you see the positive things, how it is going to help you, how the automations, how the technology can be put to use for your environment to make it more efficient, using AI to the extent possible, to whatever extent possible. It doesn't have to be at 100% in a phased manner. Work on it, see. That is going to make you tackle your challenges and tackle your growth also. So you will be growing not only in your field, but as a professional, but as a person. If you are taking up the challenges and working, how do you tackle the obstacles that come across your way with this growth mindset and the positive thinking approach? In case, let's take an example of you sitting for a paper, mock test, and scoring very low marks on because it is a tough topic, say financial management or cost management. And despite having put in the number of hours, good amount of study hours, you have not been able to score. So how would your growth mindset, your positive approach work for you? You would, with a growth mindset, with a positive attitude, you could analyze your mock test papers, see as to which aspect of the questions are causing that trouble to you. You could devise a plan and work on how best to add on to your knowledge, and either it could be going to your tutors, taking extra tuitions, or forming a study club with your friends, a problem solving group, or managing your time, focusing more on the topics that are causing you problem in that mock test paper. So that would be the kind of strategy and that kind of extra effort that, when put in, would put you in that phase of a growth mindset. When it comes to putting the effort for any activity, be it related to your studies, be it related to upskilling in a topic, be it related to the work that you face in your firms, in your articleship, going by the principle that an effort will make you stronger and more resilient and better prepared. That is the growth. If we take the example of the sheer volume of syllabus that the CA course has, it would feel overwhelming. You have to study religiously for 8 to 10 hours, along with your articleship, on a daily basis, manage other stuff simultaneously. Fixed mindset person would say that, okay, this is too difficult for me, so I'm not going to do it. or I'm going to rethink my option. But a person with a growth mindset would know and understand that the journey of being a CA is a marathon, and it needs to be tackled in that aspect only. You devise a plan, which everyone does. You make that plan, you drill it down, block it down to daily chapter handling, break your subjects into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily targets, and then tackle one step at a time. And once you have achieved the target that you've set for yourself, you celebrate the fact that you have achieved that particular goal that you set for yourself, the target that you set for yourself for that particular day, and move forward. So a person with a growth mindset would be celebrating the effort that he or she is putting in to meet his or her targets, and celebrating these wins and having the trust that these efforts are going to be compounded and they are going to give you the results, the desired results, is what makes it a transformative process and what brings in the growth aspect for you as an individual. If we talk about the positivity in handling feedbacks, so a person with a growth mindset would always understand that feedback or setback or sharing of constructive feedback is a learning experience, is an opportunity to grow, and is not a direct criticism of you. Say, for example, if your principal or your senior in your firm has criticized you, pointed out that your audit file has a lot of incomplete information or incorrect information. So a person with a growth mindset will understand that this is a guidance that you're getting from your expert, a practical feedback that is going to help you work with your clients in your future assignments. And it is something that is not a learning that is not possible from just books. So if you're getting that feedback, you might feel the sting at the first go. That is natural. But then realize that this is meant for your growth. It is meant for you to reach the next phase of your journey. And it is going to help you better yourself at that particular task or at that particular topic. So this is how growth mindset and the positivity helps you deal with situations and deal with the situations differently than if you are in the fixed mindset zone. Why does it matter? Why do you need to have a growth mindset? So learning is a lifelong process. What you're doing today, you were not doing it previously. And the job that you'll have in 10 years might not exist today. And we see it happening, changing, the constant change right now with the advent of AI and technology, the kind of importance that it has. So if you have a growth mindset, you are able to tackle these challenges more astutely. You are more adaptive to the changing environment, to the changing situation, the changing demands that are put your way. You can easily pivot and adapt when the things are required to be tackled on them. Growth mindset also helps you in being resilient because your approach to tackling setbacks and failures is that they are your learning curve that each one has to go through if they have to succeed or reach the goals that are required. It also helps in problem solving. How does it help in problem solving? Because you are open to looking at strategies, which is the right strategy to approach once you have had a failure, a setback. So since you are doing that, you are more open to looking at a problem from different perspectives and getting a much holistic approach to it, a more holistic way of looking at things. And therefore, this actively helps in reducing your stress and anxiety also. You say how? If you are a person who is propagating, cultivating a growth mindset for yourself, you would not be conscious of the fact that intelligence and ability or smartness is a tagline. And you know that you have to constantly work on this. So you would never fear from making a mistake. You will never fear failure. And that is going to make the stress and anxiety of doing something new with the aspect of being highlighted in your circle as a negative aspect would be less. So you would be more resilient. You would have less of anxiety and stress when you're taking up something new, a new project or a new activity, a new skill that you want to master. And obviously, this would also lead to a deeper fulfillment because you understand that the outcome is not the total thing. It is the process and the learnings that you get in that process of reaching that outcome. That is also a material that plays a material role in getting to that outcome. So that is also a part and parcel of your learning process, your growth process. And hence you will be more fulfilled. So by cultivating, by choosing growth over a fixed thinking, we open doors to unlimited possibilities, unlimited progress for us. There is a science behind growth and the growth mindset. Neuroplasticity is our brain's remarkable way of lifelong ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. So whenever, and it is a physical process, so whenever we learn something new, we practice it, we experience the new things, our brain rewires its circuit. And our brain is more of a muscle than a machine. And we all know if we do not exercise regularly, our muscles weaken and atrophy. So the same is the case with the brain. So how will the brain be sharper? If it is challenged, if it is given new situations, if it is given new scenarios with which it can adapt itself to. So when you are embracing a challenge, you are initiating the process of working your neural growth. When you are learning from your feedbacks, you are strengthening that correct neural path. And when you persist despite facing setbacks and failures, you are forging for more resilient connection. There's a research by Carol Dweck, wherein she's a Stanford University professor, wherein she conducted this research on, she and her team conducted this research on a set of kids, and they found out that the kids behaved very differently depending on the type of praise that they received. The students who were praised for the efforts that you worked so hard, that is why you were able to solve this problem and tackle this situation. So they chose harder challenges, harder quizzes the next time. Because the effort that that kid had put to accomplish that task or that goal was told that was within his capability to control and to improve. While the other set of kids who were praised for intelligence only, that you are smart and you're intelligent, that is why you were able to solve this puzzle. Because they were labeled smart and intelligent, the next task that they chose was far easier than the previous one, because they were scared of letting go of that tag of smartness. So, and the conclusion that this study and this experiment brought about was that if you identify or put a label of smart and intelligence to a kid in his or her problem solving methods, then you are creating a fixed mindset. And if you're telling them, appreciating them for the effort and the strategy that the kid has used to solve that problem, then you are promoting that growth mindset and you're making them more open to taking chances and working on them, putting that in. So how would you cultivate a growth mindset for yourself? You would do that by focusing on the journey, making sure that you enjoy the process and learn from the process itself. Trust that process. You incorporate yet, that rather than saying that I can't do this, you say that I can't do this yet. I can't play the guitar yet. I can't do this thing. So that is programming your brain to say that this is something that you can work on, provided you put in the right amount of strategy and the right amount of effort. They pay attention to your words and thoughts. So a human being on an average has 70,000 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. And majority of those thoughts are negative. So how do you push yourself towards the growth mindset? You reframe your thoughts from the negative thoughts back to the positive thoughts. Like we saw in that clip, that Luca was scared of failure, of taking that chance, and was having that negative thought. But Alberto coaxed him that don't worry about this. Silence of Bruno. That was the
Excuse me.
negative.
Time is for closing the session, ma'am.
I still have a slide to go.
We have
I'll try to rush
time
it.
limited, please.
Okay. Also, let me just go through it.
Okay.
So you will be reframing. You take on more challenges. You reframe your setbacks. You seek feedback if you want to get the growth mindset, and you set learning goals for yourself. Focus on the process and not just the outcome. you can visualize, you can do a daily practice of affirmations, ask questions, and keep trying, not to give up. So that all helps you in developing that growth mindset for yourself. Albert Einstein said that once you stop learning, you start dying. So that shows that once that learning, the journey of learning and growth never ends. It is a continuous process. And it is not about just being the smartest person in the room. It is about being the most curious, the most resilient, and the most willing to learn. So before I wind up, I would ask each one of you to write one growth mindset practice that you'll try for the next 30 days. Own it, try it, and see the difference for yourselves. Thank you. I'm sorry I took a lot more time.
No problem. Hello, moderator sir, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this insightful and power-packed session on developing a growth mindset for continuous learning. You have truly shown us that beyond just crunching numbers, it's how we communicate them that drives real decisions. To all our participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiastic engagement today. We hope this session will assist in a positive manner on said topic. Let's continue the spirit of learning as part of the Run 100 webinar series and take every opportunity to grow as future ready CA. Until next time, take care, keep learning. Bye bye, sayonara.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to respected faculty and the moderator for the wonderful session. We also thank you to all dear students for their active participation in the session. We also thank to our chairman and vice chairman sir for taking this initiative. Special thanks to our vice chairman sir who joined virtually today and gave his words of wisdom to the students. Students are requested to please join Run series Tuesday and Friday 4 to 5 p.m.
आगे मिल जाएगा
Run
एक
and group. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you.